All right, so get this. Today we're going deep on print on demand. POD. It's that business model everyone's talking about these days.
Yeah, and we've got like research papers, articles, even some insider tips.
The whole 9 yards.
Yeah, we're going to break down how it works, the good, the bad, and basically whether POD could be, your path to entrepreneurial success.
Exactly. So think of us as your guides through all this information.
Yeah, your POD Sherpas.
I like that. Okay, so first things first, for anyone who might be new to all this, what exactly IS Print on Demand? I mean, it's not just about printing books anymore, is it?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's way beyond that.
Right.
Think of it this way. You've designed this awesome, trendy, I don't know, yoga-themed T-shirt.
Okay, I'm with you.
Maybe with like a funny slogan.
Yeah, like an inside joke for yogis.
Exactly. So someone in, say, Canada sees your design online, clicks buy now.
Okay, what happens next? This is where it gets interesting.
Right. So this is the cool part. You, the designer, you don't have to deal with any of the physical stuff. The POD platform you're partnered with, they take over from there.
Got it.
They print the design on a good quality T-shirt.
Right.
They package it all up. They ship it directly to your customer in Canada.
Wow, so you're just the design mastermind behind the scenes.
That's it. You're like the Wizard of Oz.
I love it.
And this system is great, especially for beginners, because it really minimizes risk.
How so?
You're not stuck with a garage full of, T-shirts hoping they'll sell.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, you only pay for production when you have an actual order.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we've covered what POD is, but when did this whole thing start? I have a feeling it's older than we think.
You're right. It's actually been around for a while. Originally, it started with books.
Oh, really?
Like imagine a small town historian. They write a book about their town's history.
Yeah?
They need a small batch of books printed. That's where POD came in.
So very specific on-demand stuff.
Right. But then, well, the internet happened and things changed.
As they tend to do.
Yeah, the rise of, websites like Amazon, Etsy. Suddenly anyone could sell stuff globally.
And POD was ready for that.
Totally. It was perfect timing. Creators could reach huge audiences without needing, factories and warehouses.
All those costs.
Exactly. And the POD platforms provided that infrastructure, made it all possible.
Which brings us to today. I mean, POD is everywhere now. Apparel, mugs, phone cases, you name it.
It really is. If you can put a design on it, chances are someone's selling it through POD.
Crazy.
It's a game changer, especially for new entrepreneurs.
Yeah, for sure. Especially since one of the big advantages is that it's low cost to start, right?
Absolutely. You don't need a ton of money up front because remember, no inventory.
Right.
Compare that to traditional retail.
Oof, yeah.
Renting a store, stocking it with products, hoping people even walk in the door.
That's a whole different ballgame.
Exactly. With POD, you test things out, start small, and grow as you go.
And what about flexibility? I've heard you can pretty much run a POD business from anywhere.
That's another huge plus, yeah. As long as you have, a laptop and internet,
you're good to go.
You can be anywhere. You're not tied to one location, which, opens up a ton of possibilities.
So let's say you're sold on the idea and you're ready to go. What's the first step? Choosing a platform.
Yep. And there are a few big names you'll want to look into.
Like Printful. I've heard they're good for beginners.
Yeah, they're great. They have tons of products, from clothing to home decor to phone cases, even custom socks.
Wow, the variety.
And they integrate well with big e-commerce sites like Shopify, which saves you a lot of time.
Makes sense. Then there's Teespring, which seems to be really focused on building your brand, right?
Yes. They give you the tools to really personalize your storefront, your own domain name, targeted marketing, all that.
So if having a recognizable brand is your priority, Teespring's a good bet.
Exactly.
And of course, there's Redbubble, which I always think of as the artist's platform.
Yeah, it's like a giant online marketplace where artists upload their work and customers can buy it on all kinds of products.
So if you're just starting out, it's great for exposure.
Yeah, exactly. You can get your design seen by a lot of people.
Okay, so you've picked your platform. Now it's time to, unleash your inner designer.
Get creative.
Right. But what are the best tools to do that? I know Canva's popular, but then there's Adobe Illustrator too.
It really depends on your skill level and what you're comfortable with.
Okay.
Canva is super easy to use, even if you have zero design experience.
Yeah, it's really intuitive.
It's got templates and all sorts of tools to make it simple.
But if you're looking for more advanced features, Adobe Illustrator's the way to go, right?
Right. It's kind of the industry standard for professionals.
So it's like you start with Canva, learn the ropes.
Yeah. get comfortable.
And then maybe graduate to Illustrator when you're ready to, level up.
Exactly.
And no matter which tool you use, I guess it's important to, do your research.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
See what's trending.
See what's popular in your niche, what colors and fonts and styles people are liking.
Right, because you want to create designs that people actually want to buy.
Exactly. There's no point designing stuff that nobody's interested in.
That's a good point. Speaking of niches, we haven't really talked about that yet, but I know they're important.
No, they're crucial.
Why is that? Why is it so important to choose a specific audience?
Let's say you're really passionate about, I don't know, miniature schnauzers.
Oh, okay. I knew you were going to say that.
And you design this t-shirt with like a hilarious schnauzer pun on it.
I love it.
If you try to market that to everyone, your message is going to get lost.
Right. Like, not everyone's going to get it.
Exactly. But if you target people who are obsessed with miniature schnauzers.
They're schnauzer fanatics.
Yes. They're going to go crazy for it because it speaks to their passion.
Yeah, they get the joke.
Right. Choosing a niche is all about finding that sweet spot. What are you passionate about? What's trending? And what's actually selling?
Okay, that makes sense. So how do you figure out what's hot and what's actually in demand? Are there tools to help with that?
Yeah, definitely. There are analytics tools that can be super helpful.
Like what?
Well, marketplaces like Etsy and Amazon, they give you data on search trends, what people are buying, even niches that are underserved.
So you could find a hidden gem of a niche that you never even thought of.
Exactly. It's like treasure hunting, but for business ideas.
I like it. Okay, so we've got our designs, our platform, our niche all figured out. Now let's talk money.
The fun part.
Right. How do you actually price your products to make sure you're making a profit? I mean, it's not just about picking a number out of thin air.
No, definitely not.
Right.
There are a few things to consider. First, there's the base cost from your POD provider, which covers the printing and production.
Okay.
Then you've got shipping, which can be different depending on, where it's coming from and going.
Right. And shipping costs are all over the place these days.
And don't forget the marketplace fees. Platforms like Etsy and Amazon, they take a percentage of each sale.
So you've really got to be strategic with your pricing.
Exactly. You need to factor all those costs in. There are a couple of common strategies you can try.
Okay, tell me more.
One is competitive pricing, which is basically looking at what similar products are selling for
Okay.
and pricing yours around the same level.
Makes sense.
That can work well if you're targeting, customers who are really price sensitive.
Right. They're looking for a bargain.
But if your designs are unique, high quality, you might consider value-based pricing.
So charging a bit more because your product is worth it.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance. A price that's fair for customers, but also make sure you're making money.
Got it. Okay, so we've got the pricing sorted, but how do you actually get your products in front of the right people?
Marketing.
Right.
That's the key.
That's where it all comes together.
And we're going to dive into all those strategies in part 2 of this deep dive.
Can't wait. Me neither. We'll be right back after a short break.
Okay, so we're back, and we're ready to tackle marketing. This is where we really get those print-on-demand products out there for the world to see, right?
Absolutely. You've got your designs, your platform, your niche. Now it's time to, spread the word.
Making some noise. So first up.
Social media.
Oh yeah, social media is huge for POD.
It seems perfect since it's all about visuals and, POD products are very visual.
Exactly. Platforms like Instagram, Pinterest, those are your best friends.
Lots of eye-catching product photos, right?
Yeah, think like lifestyle shots, stuff that really captures the vibe of your brand.
So it's not just about posting a product photo with a price tag. You've got to, tell a story.
Right. It's got to be engaging.
Okay, give me an example.
Let's say you're selling those miniature schnauzer t-shirts we talked about.
Of course, our favorite example.
What if you posted, behind-the-scenes videos of you designing them?
Oh, I like that.
Showing your own schnauzer as inspiration.
People love that kind of stuff.
Right. Or, share stories about your passion for the breed.
Yeah, it makes your brand more personal, relatable.
Exactly. It's about building a community.
Not just, broadcasting your products.
Right. You want people to connect with you.
Okay, social media is all about grabbing attention. Now, what about SEO? I know it's important, but it's a bit more behind the scenes.
True, but it's super powerful.
In what way?
Think of SEO as making sure your products show up when people search online.
Okay, so when someone types something into Google...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's say you're selling those eco-friendly yoga leggings.
Yeah.
And someone searches for sustainable activewear.
Right.
You want your products to pop up at the top of those search results.
So it's about using the right words in your product listing so Google knows what you're selling.
Right. You got to research those keywords, figure out what people are actually typing in.
Okay. And are there tools that can help with that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Google Keyword Planner is a good one.
So you find those keywords, then you sprinkle them throughout your product descriptions.
Exactly. In the titles, the descriptions, even the image tags.
It sounds like a bit of a puzzle, figuring out how to use those keywords without making it sound, forced.
It does take some practice.
Right.
But remember, you're writing for people, too, not just robots.
Right. Make it sound natural.
Exactly. You want your product listings to be informative and engaging so people actually want to read them.
Got it. Okay, and then for those who want to take their marketing a step further, there's paid advertising.
Paid ads can be very effective.
But also a bit overwhelming.
It can be. Yeah, it's not just about, throwing money at ads and hoping for the best.
You need a plan.
Definitely. Platforms like Facebook and Instagram ads, they let you target very specific groups of people.
Okay, like how specific?
You can target by demographics, interests, even behaviors.
Wow. So like if I wanted to reach those miniature Schnauzer lovers, I could target people who follow Schnauzer pages.
Exactly. Or people who have bought dog products online before.
So you can really make sure your ads are seen by the right people.
Yeah, the people who are most likely to be interested in what you're selling.
Okay, but I imagine you have to be careful with your budget.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's easy to overspend, right?
Definitely. That's why it's important to set clear goals for your ads.
But what are you trying to achieve?
Exactly. Do you want more people to know about your brand? Do you want more traffic to your website? More sales?
Okay, so your goals determine your ad strategy.
And how much you're willing to spend.
Makes sense. Okay, we've talked social media, SEO, paid ads, but there's another big piece of the marketing puzzle. Branding.
Branding is everything.
Right.
It's what sets you apart.
So it's more than just a logo or like a color scheme.
It's the whole experience you create.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Think about the tone of your writing,
Okay.
how you interact with customers on social media.
Right, your overall vibe.
Exactly. Imagine those Schnauzer t-shirts again.
Mm-hmm.
What if your packaging included, like, a little dog treat
Oh, that's cute.
or, like, a handwritten thank you note?
Those little touches make a big difference.
They do. They make people feel like they're buying from a real person, not just a company.
Exactly, it adds that personal touch.
Think about brands you love. Why do you love them?
That's a good question.
Probably not just their products.
It's the feeling they give you, right?
The values they represent.
Okay, so let's fast forward a bit. Your POD business is booming. Orders are pouring in.
That's the dream.
But I imagine it can get a bit overwhelming trying to manage everything.
It can be, yeah, but that's where technology comes in.
Tell me more.
There are tools that can automate a lot of those, time-consuming tasks.
Okay, that sounds good. What kind of tools are we talking about?
One of the most popular is called Zapier.
Zapier, okay.
Think of it like a bridge between different apps.
Okay.
So let's say every time you get a new order,
Yeah,
you want to automatically send them a welcome email.
right.
Zapier can do that. It connects your POD platform to your email software, and it just happens automatically.
So no more manually copying and pasting information between different systems.
Exactly.
Yeah, that would save a ton of time.
And that's just one example. Zapier can automate all sorts of things, from order fulfillment to social media posting.
So as your business grows, it can really help you stay organized.
It's a lifesaver.
Okay, so automation is one way to scale. What about expanding your product line? Seems like a natural way to grow.
Absolutely. Let's say those Schnauzer t-shirts are selling like hotcakes.
People can't get enough of them.
You could add Schnauzer mugs, tote bags, phone cases. The possibilities are endless.
So you're giving your customers more to choose from and, tapping into new markets.
Exactly. And the best part is, with POD, you don't have to worry about buying a ton of inventory up front.
Right. You can test things out, see what sells.
And speaking of reaching more people, collaborations can be huge.
Oh, like influencer marketing?
Yeah. Imagine partnering with an influencer who loves miniature Schnauzers.
They could show off your products to all their followers.
Exactly. And it works both ways. The influencer gets to share cool stuff with their audience. You get more exposure.
It's a win-win.
And you could also collaborate with businesses that, complement your products.
Like what kind of businesses?
Maybe a local dog groomer or a Schnauzer rescue organization.
Oh, that's a good idea. So many possibilities.
Right. Collaborations are a great way to grow.
Okay, let's get real for a minute. I know every business has its challenges.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What are some of the hurdles that, people running POD businesses need to be prepared for?
Well, one of the biggest is shipping times.
Okay, yeah.
Since a lot of POD providers have production facilities overseas, shipping can take longer.
Especially compared to, buying something from a store.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these days, people are used to getting things quickly.
Instant gratification.
Right. So it's important to be upfront about those shipping times.
Don't try to hide it.
No, be transparent.
Hmm.
Put in your product descriptions, your FAQs, your emails.
And I imagine customer service is even more important with POD.
Absolutely. If someone has a question about their order, be responsive.
Right. Be helpful.
Exactly. Good customer service can make a big difference.
It builds trust.
Yeah, especially in the online world.
Another challenge, I imagine, is, standing out from the crowd. There are so many people doing POD these days.
It's true. It's a competitive market.
So how do you make your brand shine?
It goes back to what we talked about earlier, finding your unique angle.
Oh, okay.
What makes you different?
Right, your special sauce.
Exactly. Is it your design style?
Yeah.
Your niche? Your brand story?
Sure.
Maybe you use eco-friendly materials or donate to charity.
You've got to give people a reason to choose you over all the other options.
Yeah, you got to stand out. And of course, always deliver high-quality products and excellent customer service.
Right. It's the whole package.
Exactly. It all comes together.
Okay, I love all this talk about, challenges and competition, but sometimes it's easy to forget WHY people start POD businesses in the first place.
That's a good point.
Right.
Why do people do this?
Yeah, what's the driving force?
It's about turning your passion into something real.
I like that.
It's creative freedom, flexibility, being your own boss.
And, what better way to inspire ourselves than to look at some real-life success stories?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Proof that this whole POD thing can actually work.
There's so many inspiring stories out there.
Right.
People who started with an idea and built amazing businesses.
From their laptops.
It's incredible. They found their niche, honed their skills, and built strong brands.
It's so encouraging to see people, living their dreams.
It is.
So what are some of the common things that these successful POD entrepreneurs did? What can we learn from them?
Well, one of the biggest takeaways is they were laser focused on their niche.
Right. They really targeted a specific audience.
Exactly. Remember how we talked about finding your tribe?
Yeah.
They did that, and they built their entire brand around serving that specific group of people.
So they became the go-to place for customers looking for products in that niche.
Right. Whether it's cat lovers, gamers, bookworms, even our Schnauzer fans.
They found their people.
Exactly. And they spoke directly to their needs and desires.
Okay, so niche is key. What else?
Another big one is building a strong brand identity.
So it's not just about the designs themselves.
No, it's about the whole experience.
Okay, break that down for me.
Think consistent visuals, a compelling brand story, a voice that resonates with your ideal customer.
So you're creating that sense of connection, that feeling that people get when they interact with your brand.
Exactly. It's about creating that loyalty.
Okay. And we can't forget about exceptional customer service.
No, yeah, that's huge.
Especially in the online world.
Definitely.
Where you don't have that face-to-face interaction.
Right. You got to make people feel valued.
So respond to questions quickly, resolve issues efficiently, maybe add a little something special to their package.
Exactly. Those little touches go a long way.
They really do. Okay, well, we've covered a lot in this episode.
A lot of information.
But there's always more to learn, right?
Always. POD is a constantly evolving world.
So join us for part 3, where we'll dive even deeper into, choosing the right platform, designing products that sell, and mastering those marketing strategies.
We'll be getting into the nitty-gritty.
Exactly. Until then, keep those creative wheels turning.
Keep designing.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've explored the what, the why, and the how of print on demand, but
Now for the really exciting part.
Right, it's time to pick a platform and make those designs a reality.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we've talked about some of the big players. Printful, Teespring, Redbubble. How do you know which one is the right fit for you?
It's all about knowing what you want.
Okay, so what are your priorities?
Exactly. Think about the products you want to create. Like, what kind of stuff do you see yourself designing and selling?
Right, because if it's just apparel, most platforms have got you covered. But what if you're dreaming of custom phone cases or unique wall art? You got to make sure the platform actually offers those products.
Exactly. And think about your existing setup. If you already have a Shopify store or an Etsy shop, you want a platform that integrates seamlessly.
Right. No one wants to deal with technical headaches.
You want it to be smooth and easy so you can focus on creating and selling.
Okay, so products and integration are important. What about the, money stuff?
Pricing is huge, yeah.
Mm.
Each platform structures things differently. Base prices, shipping costs, fees. You really want to compare carefully and make sure it aligns with your profit goals.
It's about finding that sweet spot where you can offer competitive prices but also make a profit.
Right, exactly. And don't forget about customer support. When you inevitably run into a question or something goes wrong technically, you'll want a platform that's responsive and helpful.
Check those online reviews, do your research.
Definitely. Make sure they have a good reputation for taking care of their users.
So do your homework, compare your options, and pick the platform that feels like the best fit for you and your business.
It's like finding a business partner. You want someone you can trust.
Okay, so you found your platform, now the fun begins. It's time to design some awesome products. But before you get lost in fonts and colors, what about strategy?
You need a plan.
Right. What are some of the, insider tips for designing products that people will actually buy?
Well, first and foremost, remember your niche. You're designing for a specific audience, a specific group of people with specific interests.
So if you're targeting those book lovers we keep talking about.
Design products they'll love. Mugs with witty literary quotes, tote bags with vintage book cover designs.
Okay, yeah, I'm saying it.
You're tapping into their passion, giving them something that reflects their identity.
So it's not about slapping a random design on a product. It's about creating something meaningful for a specific group of people.
Exactly. And along with your niche, keep an eye on trends. What's hot right now?
Okay, so how do you do that?
Use tools like Google Trends, Pinterest Trends. They can show you what people are searching for, what's popular.
But we don't want to just blindly follow trends, right?
Right, you want to put your own unique spin on things.
Make it your own.
Exactly, that's how you stand out. Now, in terms of the actual design process itself,
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty.
focus on clarity and simplicity.
So less is more.
In a lot of cases, yes. Your design should be easy to understand, visually appealing. Think bold lines, clear fonts, a balanced composition.
Well, clutter.
Exactly. And color palettes are important. Choose colors that complement each other, reflect your brand.
And appeal to your target audience.
Yes. Remember, colors evoke emotions. They can actually influence whether or not someone buys something.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
And make sure you're using high-quality images. Blurry or pixelated images are a big no-no. The quality of your visuals says a lot about your brand.
Makes sense. It's all about those details. Okay, so we've designed some amazing products, listed them on our platform. Now it's marketing time. We've touched on social media, SEO, and paid ads, but let's break it down even further.
All right, let's start with social media. For visual products, platforms like Instagram and Pinterest are where it's at.
You've got to showcase your designs, make them stand out.
Exactly. And don't just post a photo. Think about your strategy. Who are you trying to reach? What kind of content will resonate with them?
So back to our book lovers on Instagram. I might share behind-the-scenes photos of my design process.
I love that.
Or create reels with, inspiring literary quotes, or maybe even host a giveaway with a book-themed prize pack.
Perfect example. You're engaging with your target audience, building a community around your brand.
Okay, so social media is rocking. Now, how about SEO? How do we get Google to notice our products?
SEO is all about speaking Google's language. You need to find those keywords, the words people are using to search for products like yours.
Okay, so for those eco-friendly yoga leggings, I might target keywords like sustainable yoga wear, ethical active wear, things like that.
Exactly. Use those keywords in your product titles, descriptions, image tags.
Yeah.
Make it natural. You're writing for humans too.
Right. It's got to sound good to both Google and potential customers.
Exactly. And then there's paid advertising. A lot of people find this one intimidating,
Can be, yeah.
but it's really powerful when done right.
So where do we start?
Start by choosing the platform that aligns with your target audience. For POD, Facebook and Instagram ads are usually a good bet.
Because they give you so many options for targeting, like you said before, demographics, interests, even behaviors.
Exactly. And then the most important thing is to define your goals. What are you trying to achieve with these ads? More brand awareness, website traffic, direct sales.
Your goals will determine your strategy and budget.
Right. And always track your results. You don't want to just throw money away on ads that aren't working.
So it's a constant process of testing and refining.
Exactly. Experiment with different ad formats, different audiences. See what works best for you and your products.
Okay, wow, we've covered so much. From choosing a platform to designing products to marketing, it feels like we've built a whole POD business.
It's been quite the journey.
It really has, and it all comes down to this. Print on demand is about turning your passion into a reality. It's about creative freedom, being your own boss.
It's about taking control of your future.
Exactly. So what are you waiting for? Explore those platforms, find your niche, design something awesome, take that leap.
And remember, we're here to support you every step of the way.
That's right. You're not alone on this journey. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of print on demand. We hope you feel inspired and ready to unleash your creativity.
Until next time, keep those creative wheels turning and keep designing.